Welcome to the weekly Zera Shimshon Shir, and this is going to be a very short one because it's Erev Shabbos and I have what to do yet. It's Erev Shabbos Parshat Tisa, and it's Chaf Aleph Adar, and it's the yard site of the Noam Elimelech. So for those who want to say, light a special candle or say a special prayer, so that the Heilige Melech, let's say, my Mechutin is actually a descendant of one of his disciples, the Koshin Rabbi. So anyway, so it says in the Zera Shimshon, why is Shabbos repeated in the Parshat? It says, Shomros b'nei Yisrael es ha-Shabbos, la'aseh es ha-Shabbos, l'deirai sam b'ri Yisrael. Okay. So the children of Israel shall observe Shabbos to make Shabbos an eternal covenant for their generations. Why is the word Shabbos mentioned twice in this verse? Observe Shabbos, to make Shabbos an eternal covenant. Another question, why does the Pasuk begin with the observing the children of Israel shall observe Shabbos? But this concludes with make the Shabbos an eternal covenant. The Gemara in Shabbos Daf 119b, is Kufya Tes Amud Beis, tells us that two angels accompany a person when he returns home from shul on Friday night. One good angel and one bad angel. If he enters his house and finds the candle lit and the table set and the bed's made, and the good angel will say, Amen, Ken Yehi Ratzain, may it be your will that it will be the same in this house next week as well. And the bad angel has to answer Amen against his will. According to this, and exactly the opposite is true also, but we won't go there. According to this, we can explain that the pasuk is imparting the following message to Bnei Israel. If a person is careful to honor Shabbos and keeps one Shabbos properly, then the angels who accompany him home from shul will bless him and his family, smoothing the way for them to enjoy a peaceful Shabbos the next week as well. This is what the pasuk means. If Bnei Israel observe one Shabbos properly, then they will be blessed by the angels with the opportunity of making Shabbos properly the following week. So says the Zera Shimshon in Oispav. And there is a segula, so that's why I wanted to share this with you. Don't forget the segula of the Rabbi Chaim Kanievski. By Kiddush, you should mention that Shabbos is only the bracha for the next 6 days. That's all. The world is recreated on Shabbos and given the blessing for the next 6 days of creation. So you don't have to worry for 6 days. If that's too much for most people, just take one day at a time. But 6 days is maximum. So the Segula says, while we're on the topic of... Okay. I'm a huge chassid of the Sefer Zera Shimshon. Not only do I study the Sefer myself, but I also have the schus to spreading the author's Torah through the weekly Zera Shimshon newsletter. I have been helped beyond all measure by this Sefer, and I do my best to show Hakar Satay for it. I smoked for years. I have no defense other than to admit that we suffer from the mistakes of our youth. The constant smoking harmed me and caused me terrible damage. It was so bad that at times I felt I couldn't breathe. I was choking, that no air was entering my lungs. I'd wake up coughing, gasping for air, but there was no relief, and I'd end up running to the local urgent care in the middle of the night, telling the doctors that I couldn't breathe and begging them to clear my air passages. Waking up in the middle of the night coughing and gasping for breath made me sick, scared to fall asleep at night. It was a vicious cycle. I can hear you saying, so why didn't you stop smoking? The answer, I was hopelessly addicted. Nicotine is very addicting. Yes. I visited so many doctors, but none of them were able to help me conquer my addiction. I went to treatments. I took medicines. Nothing helped me. Then one day I discovered a new sefer I had never seen before. It was written by an Italian Rav, and it was called Zera Shimshon. I began learning the sefer and spreading the Torah. partnering with an organization that works tirelessly to bring the Zera Shimshon's Torah to the world. From the moment I began learning the Sefer, I saw tremendous changes in my life, and I felt that as if I had been given fantastic medicine. Torah is a medicine. It wasn't long before the pain lessened and my ailments began to dissipate. Suddenly, I was coughing less and able to breathe again. And then, finally, after so many years, I was able to break out of the cycle and stop smoking. I had been trying to do so for years with no success. Yet now, I was able to do it easily. The Zera Shimshon is part of my life now, and I continue learning it all the time. Even though 2 years have already passed from the time of this story, I know that the power of the Tzaddik stood by me when I needed it most, and I do my best to bring his neshama ruach, nishmas ruach, neshama's nachas ruach, he deserves it. Thank you, and have a good Shabbos. Everybody enjoy. Bye.